Om Shanti. The subject is a very interesting one. To what extent is there a question of discipline? And to what extent is it that love can take the soul beyond everything else? And looking back on my own experience, I find that both are complementary, in the sense that even if we come to Baba and Baba immediately gives us a beautiful, powerful experience of love, which is what happens to many, but yet, even to sustain that love, one needs to follow a discipline. And sometimes it happens that we follow disciplines over a period of time, and then Baba's able to give us the reward for that. But definitely both go together. And obviously, if at some point the discipline goes off track for whatever reason, then you have to bring it back on track to be able to experience Baba's love. So, for me, the aspect of discipline is the first step. It's not the last step. The first step is the discipline. The last step is the love. And along the journey, both will go together. But I have to start with the discipline. And I'm thinking about, firstly, even all the external disciplines. Okay, so purity becomes the way of life. You make a decision and you follow that. But my attendance of Murli. And today Baba said, when you hear the Murli personally, as distinct to reading the Murli, and I take that to mean both in the sense of Madhuban, but also in the sense of a center, that sitting at home reading the Murli is very, very different to actually hearing it in class. So that accuracy and discipline of attending Baba's Murli and absorbing what Baba the teacher is giving me. And then the discipline of Amrit Vela. I remember when I first came to Baba, Amrit Vela was very natural and easy. It was just very easy to wake up, but very easy to experience powerful meditation. And then when service became more and more intense, then the number of hours of sleep were being reduced and not managing very well. And so Amrit Vela was very often sleepy time. And at one point, and those were the days when we had the fortune of meeting Baba personally, often, not just once, but many times. And Baba said to me personally that even if Amrit Vela isn't of the quality, Baba was very royal, so he just said, it isn't of the quality that you would like it to be, but yet still continue to observe the discipline of sitting in front of Baba. And I took that to heart, and also to mean that, okay, Baba understands that there's reasons and reasons, but Baba knows that the fact that you're making the effort to get up is out of love for Baba. Why else would you want to do such a strange thing? But yes, there's love for Baba, and so you're following the discipline of getting up early and sitting in front of Baba, and then whatever happens. But it took me a little while to understand that discipline in terms of experiences of Baba's love is actually also applicable on a more subtle level than that. And I don't just mean following Srimad. Yes, that's more subtle in so many different ways. Baba talks about it. Especially over the last few days, Baba has mentioned several things. But I'm thinking about the discipline of practicing soul consciousness. It's a discipline. It's not yet natural. The artificial identity of the body is still stronger than the eternal identity of the soul. I speak for myself, and you can see where you are. And so that extra attention that's needed, the discipline that's needed to remind the self to practice soul consciousness and come to the feeling of the soul, that's something that I have to keep doing. And only through that inner discipline am I going to be able to have any possibility of experiencing Baba's love. Because it's soul consciousness that allows me to feel connected with Baba, and then Baba's love can reach me. You know this eternal question, well, surely God loves everyone. True. But how can I catch the love that God is sharing? It's only when I tune my consciousness to Baba through soul consciousness. So that first step of discipline, soul consciousness, then the experience of Baba's love, then that follows automatically, naturally. Another discipline, churning Baba's Murli. Baba went into it a lot of detail today, but it's a discipline. And by that I mean that it's easy to say, well, I'm hearing the Murli every day, so that's my life. But the next step after hearing the Murli, which Baba spoke about today, am I giving it that attention and spending time reflecting? Of course, in the days of Abu, we hear the beautiful stories of how Baba would speak the Murli and then take them off for a walk in the mountains. And perfect for health of body, but also perfect for opportunity to churn and reflect. So the early days of the yajna are a very interesting lesson in how Baba taught these souls who are the dadis today, the things that they learned and practiced. And so that discipline, after morning class, time for the self. And we don't get a chance, maybe you do here in Madhuban, but generally we don't get a chance to go out for a walk in the mountains. But I know that some sisters in London, the lucky ones, they take the opportunity after Murli to go for a walk in a park which is 5 minutes away from Baba's house. Again, that's a few lucky ones. But find a way. You're traveling to work, maybe you're driving, but still, whatever's happening is coming into your mind. You're not just watching the traffic, that you're doing, but there's also other things floating through your mind. Or you're sitting on the bus or the train. Perfect. That's the time to reflect. That's the time to churn. And so there'll always be the opportunity and the space if you want something to happen. As always, everything comes to one's own personal motivation. What is it that I want for myself? And so to make time, if not on my physical timetable, but in here, and even if there's no other time, let the body have breakfast. You don't have to think about your toast or your cornflakes, but that's a time, again, to let the mind just reflect on what is it that Baba said. And out of a day's Murli, if there isn't the conscious discipline of actually reflecting on what did Baba say today, then what's the percentage of what stays with the soul through the rest of the day? so many other things happen minute by minute that then a couple of hours later you're scratching your head and asking, what did Baba say?